You need to limit how much you use your phone. The majority of young men that I know wake up and reach for their phone straight away. That's the first thing they do when they wake up. Do you feel energetic and ready for your day after you've spent half an hour scrolling on your phone? No. Why? You have just given your brain a rush of dopamine, which is the chemical that your brain uses to reward itself. You are reinforcing your habit of staying in bed and doing nothing. First thing that you do when you wake up, you look at your phone. You get a rush of dopamine and you feel good about yourself, briefly. Suddenly you think towards the rest of your morning routine, getting up out of bed, making breakfast, brushing your teeth, getting ready for school or wherever you're going. And suddenly you don't feel motivated for your day anymore. I wonder why that is. You've just given your brain an unnatural amount of dopamine, an unnatural amount of pleasure, of feel-good energy. Have you done any hard, difficult work for you to deserve that reward? No. That is why you feel unmotivated to get out of bed to start your day. Just like how a dog gets a treat for doing a trick, you are reinforcing the habit of staying in bed and not starting your day positively by going on your phone and treating your brain to dopamine, to a feel-good pleasure. It's similar to a sugar rush. You feel good in the moment, and then as soon as you put your phone down, your dopamine level crashes slightly. And for the whole rest of the day, you might check your phone and you're trying to reach that same level of happiness, of pleasure, but you can't because you've already hit the threshold of dopamine. Your brain has already produced enough of it. It's a neurotransmitter. But you're still just going to be addicted to your phone for the rest of the day, trying to get that same level of pleasure. But you can't. I was the same growing up, going to school. Because I lived so close to school, I didn't have to get ready until relatively late in the morning. I would still wake up quite early naturally, but then I would spend the majority of my morning on my phone, watching YouTube, going on social media, and not trying to wait and give myself the reward of going on my phone a bit later in the day. I'm going to go through now steps you need to take to stop checking your phone first thing in the morning. Turn off your notifications for social media. You're still going to need to check your phone in the morning to turn your alarm off, to check what the weather is, to check what time your bus is, things like that. You can use your phone for those reasons, but you cannot use your phone to check social media, to check your messages, because you will get an instant boost of pleasure if you've, for example, posted an Instagram post and you wake up the next day and you look to see 50 different likes and you scroll through all the different likes and you see all the different people who have liked your post. That makes you feel really good. In comparison to the rest of your morning, when you put your phone down after looking at all those likes and you realise the boring morning that you've got to go through, of course you don't feel motivated, and of course you don't feel like you want to get up and do anything. Practice checking your phone later and later in the day. For example, once you've turned the notifications off, you can just roll over, turn your alarm off, and instead of checking your phone for messages straight away, take the initial step and do the first part of your morning routine before you check your phone. So for the first few days or for the first week, don't check your phone straight away. Go and have your morning shower first, or go and make yourself breakfast, or brush your teeth, and then check your phone afterwards. Do the first step and then check your phone. And then once you get used to that habit of checking your phone slightly later in your morning routine, check it after the next task that you normally do each morning. Maybe you shower, then you have breakfast, and then you check your phone. Try and push yourself to check your phone later and later and later. And you will feel more fulfilled and more satisfied with yourself knowing that you're taking the steps to feel more motivated to get up and do things in the day. You need to get over the idea in your head that people constantly need you and that you need to check your messages constantly in case somebody needs you or something happens. Realistically, if something urgent happens, they're going to text you or they're going to call you. They are not going to message you on Snapchat or Instagram. Try to organise your life a little bit more so that you don't need to check your phone in the morning to make plans of what you're going to do. Organise what you're going to do the day before. The sweet spot you need to try and get to is checking your phone for the first time in the day, checking all your messages, checking your emails just before lunchtime. And try to make it so that you've done your sort of most important task of the day or a difficult activity that you need to do in the day first. And then looking at your phone, looking at your messages will act as a kind of reward. This is really effective as you are actually more focused on yourself as well in the morning. You don't wake up, look at your phone, look at your messages, and then suddenly you're distracted by plans of meeting up later, messages that people have sent you, likes that you've got on Instagram. You wake up, you go through your morning routine, you go to school or you go to college, you focus on your work for the morning, and then just before lunch or in your lunch break, you check your phone, and for that hard work that you've done in the morning, you get the dopamine, you get the feeling of pleasure, of happiness, and it is a reward this time of you actually doing a good habit. An idea that I had to get out of my head when I was doing this, when I was waking up and checking my phone straight away every day, is I thought to be social and to have lots of friends, I need to be available all the time. I need to be checking my messages all the time in case something happens. And I've realised this now, that the people who are the most energetic and bring the most to social gatherings, bring the most when they meet people in terms of their energy levels, are the people who have downtime. The people who aren't around people all the time, the people who have time to themselves and time away from their phone. You will be socially drained if you're checking messages all morning and you have a ton of messages and you're going through all of them, and then you go to school and you start speaking to your friends. You're not going to be as energetic, as social as if you haven't checked your phone all morning. It's the same as, I find this quite a bit, if I've been really talkative and speaking to loads of people throughout my day, and then I get home and I'm feeling tired, just need to, sort of organise my thoughts a little bit, and then I go and talk about my day to my auntie, I'm often not as social, not as energetic, because I'm quite drained from the day. So taking time away from social media or checking social media later in the day actually helps you to become more social in the moment, because you're focused in the moment and you're not distracted by anything, and you're not drained from checking your messages earlier in the day. Messages come through all the time on your phone, and I find that if you check them in the morning, it just becomes a rabbit hole of your checking them every 30 minutes or however long you take to check your phone. Because once you get a few messages, you think, you get that dopamine, you get that pleasure, and you want to check again to see if anyone else has messaged you. Let them build up throughout the morning, check them all at lunchtime. You'll be able to see plans for meeting people that afternoon. You'll be able to see messages over the last day. You can plan things that you've got to do in the afternoon. You can check all of your emails. And then you can check again once you've done some of those things in the early afternoon. You can check about 4 or when you finish work or school. And then more messages will have built up. But I find if you check your messages straight away in the morning, it's really hard to get out of the habit of just checking them intermittently every 20, 30 minutes. This way you can sort of batch them all together, where you look at all of your messages at the same time. You can reply to all of them at the same time. You know what's happening. You're in this zone of answering messages, and if people are trying to make plans, you're in the zone of making plans, trying to organize future events that are going to happen. And this just makes it more effective for your brain because you're focusing on one thing at a time, not distracting you. You've done your difficult task or your day, your meaningful, fulfilling task in the morning, and now you have time and space in your head to actually plan ahead and talk to your friends on social media and look at the likes you've got on Instagram. That is all I want to talk about for this video. I think this is a really important topic. I know so many people who just wake up and check their phone. That's the first thing that they do. And I used to be the same. I used to do this, and I've just found getting rid of this habit altogether really just makes you feel more motivated, more energetic, and more fulfilled in your day. So thank you for watching. I hope you have enjoyed this video. Check out my other videos and have a wonderful rest of your day.